Hey friends, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Bridget and I make home and DIY content here on YouTube. If you love learning hacks, styling tips, and budget-friendly ways to create a beautiful home, you've come to the right place. I hope you stick around by becoming a subscriber because as of Tuesday morning when I'm filming this, we are just a few subscribers away from 100, which is such an exciting milestone for this channel. And to celebrate, I will be doing a giveaway. So make sure you stay tuned over on my Instagram, which I'll link below to see the details for how to win. But for now, let's get into today's video. I feel like glass mugs have become very popular lately, and as a DIYer, this is exciting for me because with something as plain as glass, I feel like there are so many potential ways to customize it. So in today's video, I'll be testing out and rating 3 ways to add a little visual interest to clear glass IKEA mugs. In theory, all 3 of these methods should be dishwasher safe when all is said and done, which is a must for me. Let's get started. The first step for all the methods I'll be testing today is to wipe down the mug with some rubbing alcohol. This will ensure it is free of fingerprints and any other debris. On non-porous surfaces like glass, I found that washi tape works just as well as painter's tape for getting crisp edges, so that's what I'm using here. I prefer washi tape since it is narrower and a little easier to manipulate into the shape I want. I'll be painting the bottom section of this mug below the washi tape, so that's the edge of the tape that I'm ensuring is completely flat and smooth as I go. I've seen online that when sealed properly, acrylic paint is dishwasher safe, so I'm going in with a foam brush to put down my first coat of this dark green shade directly onto the glass. In retrospect, it probably would have been smart to do a coat of primer first, but you live and you learn. I didn't love the streaky texture of the first coat, so for my second coat, I'm instead using a flat, circular foam brush to apply paint with a stippling motion. This improved the coverage a lot and gave a fun, bumpy texture. Once the second coat is dry, I'm going in one more time with a third coat of paint using the same stippling motion as before. I knew I had good coverage when I could no longer see light shining through when looking at the mug from the inside. My final coat will be using this Dishwasher Safe Mod Podge. It's important to note that this is not microwave safe as it might release harmful fumes when microwaved. It is, however, food grade safe, though your lips won't touch the actual paint when drinking out of this particular mug. Before the Mod Podge layer dries, I'm removing the washi tape. It was at this point that I realized that the original coat of acrylic paint didn't adhere very well to the glass, and that a coat of primer may have potentially solved the peeling issue. It's important to note that the paint didn't leak under the washi tape, so the tape at least did its job well. Even though the edge is jagged, I'm continuing on in the name of science. I did my best to clean it up a bit using rubbing alcohol on a Q-tip, which was somewhat successful. While the Mod Podge layer on the painted mug dries, I'm getting started on my second mug. For this method, I'm using permanent vinyl that I cut out with my Silhouette Cameo machine. I'm a big Swiftie, so I went with a few of my favorite lines from one of her songs. I've discovered that painter's tape works very well when transferring permanent vinyl like this, so that's what I decided to use here. Make sure that you really press the tape into the vinyl to ensure no small pieces get left behind when you peel off the backing layer. Make sure you apply strong pressure again when pressing it onto your glass before you remove the painter's tape. Because my text was rather wide and the mug tapers down a bit at the bottom, it ended up slightly curved upward at the outer edges, but I didn't mind. I'm going in one more time with rubbing alcohol to clean everything off before applying an extremely thin layer of the Dishwasher Safe Mod Podge, making sure to keep my brush strokes vertical throughout the entire outside of the mug. Technically, I could have just applied it over the vinyl, but I didn't want a line of demarcation where the Mod Podge stopped, so I did everything but the handle. It looks milky white right now, but the Mod Podge will dry glossy and clear. To speed up the curing process, I'm placing both mugs in a cool oven, then heating it to 200 degrees Fahrenheit and baking for 1 hour. While those mugs cure, I'm testing out my final method, etching cream. First, I'm using some washi tape to mark off 2 vertical stripes, one thin and one a bit thicker. You can do them however you'd like, but it's very important that they are completely flush to the glass to ensure clean edges. As before, I'm first cleaning off the glass with a small amount of rubbing alcohol before going in with the etching cream itself. You'll notice that I add quite a liberal amount to each section. This is very important to avoid a splotchy finish later. Once I was satisfied with the coverage, I allowed it to rest undisturbed for about 15 minutes. Then I used a dry foam brush to push around the etching cream a bit in case I previously missed any spots before allowing it to rest for another 10 minutes. When those 10 minutes are up, it's time to rinse off the etching cream. I used my foam brush to help get it all off, trying my best to avoid rubbing it onto the clean parts of the glass. You might not notice any difference in the glass while wet, but once it dries and you remove the tape, you'll see the beautiful results. Here's what the first 2 mugs looked like after the Mod Podge cured. I was very impressed with the clear, glossy finish. And now let's see how all 3 mugs hold up after going through the dishwasher on the top rack. The painted mug honestly fared the worst. That acrylic paint really didn't want to stay put on the glass, and you can see how it actually slid down the glass and folded. It also ended up with a weird air bubble in the bottom. Sorry acrylic paint, but I'm giving this method a 2 out of 10. The vinyl sealed with Mod Podge actually did really well. With the exception of one small bump on one of the letters, everything stayed put. I think with a second coat of Mod Podge, this one would have been fine, so I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. Last but certainly not least was the etching cream. Honestly, I have no complaints whatsoever about this one. It was fast, easy, and it washed perfectly. Unlike the other methods, this one is both dishwasher and microwave safe, so it gets a perfect 10 out of 10 in my book. As always, thanks for hanging out with me today. It was fun to test out a few new products and methods, and I hope you learned something new. I'm particularly excited to have discovered etching cream, and I'm sure I'll use it in future projects. And don't forget about the 100 subscriber giveaway. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and follow along on my bybridgetdiy Instagram for all the details. See you next time!